F-A-T-C-A-T. And y'all rockin' the Fat Cat Show. This is my show. F-A-T. Watch the time on you.
Say it one more time. Say it one more time.
F-A-T-C-A-T. And y'all rockin' the Fat Cat Show. This is my show. F-A-T. Watch the time on you.
Here we go. Here we go.
No matter what you say, I'ma spit it how I spit it, so you niggas can't forget it. Everybody is a critic. I walk in the dark with my chronicles veridic, with my game up the bar, so your girl'll let me hit it. Damn, man, my show's simply marvelous. You can stop the hating and debating, you can't argue this. Cause if you found something better, you would sip Moretta while wearing an ugly sweater. But my show you listening, so stop the whimpering. This is for the sinners and the born again Christians. Turn to Philippians. Nope, you can miss me then. If you wanna talk, take my number, you can hit me then. Cause you know my show was rocking. Fat Cat, remember that when your girl is shocking. When them headphones are knocking. Fat Cat Show and you don't stop the knocking.
F-A-T-C-A-T. Man, y'all rockin' the Fat Cat Show. This is my show. F-A-T. Watch the time on you.
Say it one more time. Say it one more time.
F-A-T-C-A-T. Man, y'all rockin' the Fat Cat Show. This is my show. F-A-T. Watch the time on you.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yo, 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 yo. What's cracking? You rockin' with your boy, the thinking deacon, the sinister minister, the rabbi Raymond Noodle, the chaplain of fried chicken's last rites. Y'all know who it is. That's Fat Cat, and I'm down with my dog, Roof. Y'all know who it is. That's Teat Satellite, Bills. What's cracking?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Man,
guess what? Guess what, Fat Cat?
Wait. Let me get this off. First off, I want to thank everybody for their concerns and their prayers during the loss of my grandmother, the matriarch of our family, and it was a hard time, and I want to send this off too to the friend family down in Chicago for the loss of their sister too, my cousin down in Chicago. Also, rest in peace and condolences to everybody that is going through losses, and happy birthday to those who have birthdays in this month. And happy birthday to my daughter today. You know, it's her birthday today, so she turns 11. We wishing her a very happy birthday. So, and just happy that we're able to still be in the land of the living. I thank the Lord for seeing me through and all that. Hey, Minister Lake, I see you. Just really want to thank everybody for the thoughts and their prayers also. What do you got?
Now, I was going to say is we are back.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely back. I was definitely, like I said, I had to take that hiatus to kind of like heal, because my grandmother was my baby. That was my love. That was my heart, you know, and I wouldn't even have been able to do a show in good standing right now with, you know, just thinking about my grandmother. But rest in peace, my baby. You know, I'm gonna miss my grandmother. That was my spiritual link, you know, and so she's gonna always be missed. So, like I said, I know, but this is unrelated to my grandmother, because she didn't die of no coronavirus or nothing, you know. It was just her time, and but we see that the coronavirus is still killing people, and people still are trying to open the cities and states back up. What do you think about that, man?
I think money is more important than the human life.
Right. And you see,
we are the people that just don't care. We drive the economy, so they need that black dollar.
Right.
So they're opening up all the major black cities to keep that economy flowing, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what?
Because Because I can guarantee you, if black people was to take that money that they got from that stimulus package and they spend it just amongst other black people, they'd shut it right back down.
Right. You ain't lying. That's why it's important to just be careful how you spend and stuff like that. So, but I see that's all people really know how to do is just go out and just spend and you know what I'm saying. If it ain't no necessity, what do you need to go buy certain things for? You know,
give me what's a big purchase that you have made in the past 2 months.
2 months. I can't even give you nothing really major that I bought. Nothing.
No TVs, no washing machine, dryers, refrigerators, nothing.
Nothing. Just chill. Because you know what? I'm a pretty conservative person. I don't. You know, if I really don't need it, you know.
Hold up, you just got a new car. What are you talking about?
What do you mean? We needed 2 cars.
I said what big purchase have you made?
You said the last 2 months.
Right.
But we had that car longer than 2 months.
Oh, I thought you only had it for like a month.
No. We had that. My wife was still working and stuff good when she got that car. So yeah, but that was the last major little purchase. But you know. But that was only because, you know, we did need 2 cars. We was sharing
you bought them glasses, too. They was like $1,500.
You know what? Guy with dentures. But keep up. But you know what? Didn't you buy some stock in Minjo's?
Oh, stop. I don't know about... What's Minjo's?
You know what Minjo's is.
I don't know what it is. You got to explain it to me.
Stop playing with me. You know what it is.
I don't know what it is, man.
You know what it is. But anyway, like I said, for those that are listening and stuff, it's good to be back. And make sure you subscribe to the Fat Cat Show Network on YouTube. And also you can check us out on the iHeart, Spotify, Deezer, iTunes, TuneIn, all of the above platforms. And we do be having real hot topics on the show. So today is no exception. So also, if you want to call in and respond to any of these topics, that number is 646-564-9728. And make sure you press that 1 to be heard. You know what's up. But anyway, man, I want to get into... one of the major talks of today, and that was the shooting of the black jogger. What was his name? Ahmaud Arbery, and now the video. It's a shame. They said the shooting happened in February, but it took all this time for somebody to get arrested. So this is definitely
he was walking around free.
Walking around free, scot-free. But I want to cue up the video. We're going to watch it. This was my first time actually watching the video myself. But for those who haven't seen it, check the video out, and we're going to go into discussion about this.
Now to a deadly shooting that's inflamed racial tensions in a Georgia community. Tonight, video has surfaced of an African-American man being chased down and killed. His family says he was just out jogging. We should warn you, the video is graphic. Here's CBS's Omar Villafranca.
This cell phone video captures the final moments of Ahmaud Arbery's life while he was jogging through this Brunswick, Georgia neighborhood in February. Arbery was confronted by Gregory McMichael and his son Travis, who shot Arbery twice with a shotgun before the 25-year-old collapsed and died. Arbery's mother, Wanda Jones.
Proves that my son was not committing a crime. He was out for his daily jog, and he was hunted down like an animal and killed.
Gregory McMichael was the only witness in the police report. He told investigators he thought Arbery was a burglary suspect and ordered him to stop. McMichael then said Arbery violently attacked his son, and the two fought over the shotgun before Travis shot him twice. At the time, no charges were filed. Attorney Lee Merritt represents Arbery's family.
If nothing else, after that video today, both of the McMichaels, Gregory McMichael and Travis McMichael, should be behind bars.
McMichael is a former law enforcement.
Well, I don't want to get that deep into it, but what's your take, man? We keep seeing this narrative over and over. Like, you would think now for those people, and I know you one of them, you know, because me and you have these discussions all the time as far as if our vote really counted towards something, why can't we get human rights for blacks? Why can't it be a law on the books that protects black people from just simply being gunned down? You know,
because we are not the people holding the books, upheld in the law. Give me a break.
but I'm just saying, what good is a vote if it's not towards African American interests? What good is a vote?
It is a law. It's called the Civil Rights Bill.
What the Civil Rights Bill doing now?
I'm saying none of that stuff is doing anything for us. It ain't nothing but words on a piece of paper.
Right. So, I mean, not trying to discourage people from voting or anything, but this is just my outlook on it because, like I said, we had 8 years of Obama. He had enough time to do what he could do to put a law on the books because I don't know about statistics and stuff like that, but I heard under his watch that more blacks were getting killed under that spun the Black Lives Matter movement under his watch. So it's funny that we couldn't concentrate on getting a law passed to, you know, give us some type of protection, you know, from this. Because what will make that man think, okay, if he a burglary suspect, call the police. What?
Okay. You had a young black kid get gunned down by a neighborhood watch person, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's still walking free, right?
Right.
So why would those two guys be afraid? After they killed him, they were still walking around free. After they killed him, they're like, "Oh, America is the greatest place in the world to live. You can kill a coon and you're still free."
You know what? And that's the sad part because it would look like okay, but then again, like you said, the powers that be really don't give a damn. So
they hold the man. They're upholding the law. Those judges in those districts that you don't want to vote in, those are the judges that say, okay, he can go home. But we got to press charges against him. I'm talking about it's deeper than just saying, oh, the president of the United States. What about the judges in your city?
But look, but even then, like I said, they're just cogs in the system. So they're going to actually, because look at all the nepotism that goes in the courts, in the court system, in the justice system. Because look, Zimmerman, for instance, he went in there and his daddy was a judge. So naturally, in that area that he was tried in, his dad had ties to the court. So you know they stick together.
But you know what needs to happen? His daddy need to get voted out. See, it's no fear. They could do anything in the world to us. No fear with them losing their jobs if they make bad decisions. If they do something that's not right.
Well, let me ask you something. Even in that, like, let's call it for what it is. Let's say, for instance, I think black politicians are just as worse as white. I do.
Anybody in particular you talking about?
I think they just.
Or you saying all black politicians?
I think they just
are worse than white people.
I think we really when we vote up, when people go in and they vote, oh, we're gonna vote for Obama and this and that. I think his agenda has already been laid out for what he has to do. I think they're just figureheads, and we got these expectations for them, and they can't even complete them because their task is already laid out for what they were supposed to do. Obama was supposed to have laid out the gay rights, but the black issues wasn't dealt with, and we still going through the same thing. It's almost looking like the '60s all over again. Even though I wasn't born, but this is almost the same pattern as the '60s.
I thought you was born in '67.
You know what? You almost made me say something, but I will chill on you. But this is just a problem that needs to stop. You know, and I don't like to be critical of my own people, but we have a lot to do.
No, I wouldn't say all black politicians, because we do have
name one
black politicians.
Look,
man, look. You can't sit here and make a statement like that, because you say you know the heart of all black politicians, and all black politicians don't have our best interests at heart. What's that black lady that's here? She's a politician. What's her name? Maxine Waters? Is that her name?
But look, when I say that, I'm saying most of it is just, is by default, because they're not able to do. It's like me and you. We can go in. I use the union thing for example. Like, when I was at work, I got into being the union president for a reason. I wanted to make a change. But when I got in there, I saw that it was things bigger than what I can deal with. I was just a cog in just a big system that I really couldn't make the change that I thought I could make, because the whole thing was bigger than me. So it's definitely, that's what I'm saying. When they get voted in, people look at them, they say, oh, we voted you in, so you gotta do this for us, and you gotta do that. And then they can't just come out and say, well, I'm bound by this, so I can't do this. But they'll put on that show like, okay, we'll get it done, but knowing really that they can't really do nothing. They're bound. They bound by the system that they play in. So I really don't look for change through a politician at all. That's why I think, to me, just speaking to me, that voting is just is.
So instead of voting, what should we do?
I would like to see the system crumble. I would like to see where I know we don't have a lot of strong communities, but I would like to see a community type system where we have
a district.
A district. Man, you just yelling out some stuff. I would like to see.
I'm just saying. I would like
to see community, almost like a reservation, like the Indians got. I would like to see where we can regulate ourselves, and like we could. I'm sorry to say, like you said, keep the mans out of our community. Keep all of that type stuff. I would like to see that type of system where the villages come back, because this type stuff is not working. where we could take care of each other and, and do. I know it sounds like a dream, but I would love to see that type of...
You just read my mind. I was thinking, what movie is he talking about? When Tyler Perry coming out with that movie?
I'm just saying, because look at what we dealing with. Trayvon Martin's murder was what, about 5 years ago? 5-7 years ago. Look at where we at now, and it's no better. It's no better. We still going through the same things.
But I asked a question. I said, if the system was to crumble, what do you want to replace it with?
The village.
The village what?
People. Look, look, I'm talking about a village, a village of intellectual, humanitarian people that
think of another big word.
Man, why are you playing with me? But that's what I would love to see. Just that the people that just care, that are spiritual, that got a mind for God and have that just care about people.
We didn't land on Planet Rock. Planet Rock landed on us.
Hey,
what is you talking about, man?
You know what the hell I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. You lost me. You started talking. I'm like, what's this guy talking about?
You know what? You ain't about to make me no fool. But we gonna go into our next topic, man. I ain't talking to you, dog. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, we know Sunday is Mother's Day. Oh yeah, and we give a shout out to all the mothers. Yeah, definitely. I'm in appreciation because I had two wonderful mothers that governed my life, and of course my mom, she was a strong point in my life, and my grandma definitely was the mother of mothers. She was that type. That's why the loss of her, this gonna be real difficult this Mother's Day, but I was blessed to be able to say to be able to be like, wow, for the longest I was able to still honor my grandmother on Mother's Day, and my mom, I'm still thankful to honor her and all of that. And I think a lot of times we take motherhood for granted, that motherhood for granted, because I think a lot of people aren't able to really say they had good moms or not. So it's a blessing to have a good mom. Just imagine generations under us, a generation under us. A lot of them, they got the party moms and all that stuff. But I don't know. What was some of your good childhood memories with your mom?
Oh, my mama was the best mother ever. My mother, she made sure that we never wanted for anything.
Yeah.
She sent all her kids to private schools. Mm-hmm. She showed my daughter what a good woman is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
We always had hot meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day.
Okay.
And my mother had 6 kids.
Right. So right now, if your mother was listening, what would you tell her?
I love you, Mom, and thank you for everything that you have done. Because it took for me to have a child myself, for me to understand it's hard.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard raising a child. And mothers go through so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about when a mother is sick, she still got to take care of the household.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All the time.
When you come into the house and you hear all F's and E's on your report card, she still got to look and find some way of saying, "Hey, you're a smart, good boy. You know you wasn't that smart, Tom."
You know what? You know what? You know what I gotta say. See, I know your mom had to encourage you, cause you was just that retarded kid. You was like, good boy. You know you good. But Mom,
look, I will cash after you $50 if you can spell retarded.
I knew what you was gonna say. I know what a retarded kid gonna do anyway.
I know you know.
I know you.
You like a retarded psychic.
I already knew what you was gonna do. So,
hey,
but anyway,
that's a good profession, a retarded psychic.
But anyway, I wanna give this shout out to my mom. I'm thankful for the sacrifices that you made in my life. My mom, you know, she actually went back to school. Went back to school when I was in school, and she bettered her life, but with her being able to better her life, she made my life even better. You know, so she made that sacrifice she
made that. She kept going up to that school to keep you out of special.
You know what? You just a rude dude. You just like, how you gonna interrupt somebody from making a tribute to their mom?
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
That's a retard with no impulse. No, you know that. But anyway, like I said, I appreciate all that, especially for giving birth. You know, because you think about even in the 70s, they were aborting babies and stuff like that. So I'm thankful for that. And then also to Ethel Marie Friend, my grandmother, who hands-on raised me and bathed me, fed me, and taught me, gave me knowledge of God. And I know my life is way better now that my grandmother had impacted my life. And one of the positive things that I could say with my grandmother was that I heard a lot of young ladies now that's like in ministry now, and young ladies coming up that said that my grandmother taught them their etiquette of how to carry themselves and how to, in my grandmother generation, it was different. You didn't, even my wife said, she was in church one day and she said that the music, they was singing, and my wife was kind of like doing some kind of like little dance in church, and my grandmother turned around and told her, we don't do that. We don't do that. So it was, you know what I'm saying? So my grandmother gave a lot.
Was your wife doing a Tootsie Roll or what?
How bad? Well, you crazy. But we need more mothers like that, and it's sad that we don't have that, but we definitely need more mothers like that. And I appreciate, love my mother, and rest in peace. And I love my grandmother, and a tribute to your mother also, and all the good mothers that raise good children. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. So that's definitely an honor. But
you think about what it takes for a life to get here. They gotta either cut a woman open, or she give birth naturally and lose a lot of blood.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm saying you can actually lose your life while you give birth.
Yeah. A lot of.
And you taking a chance to keep that baby when they could have just got an abortion and said, I ain't dealing with that life or death decision.
Right. And because to tell you, a lot of mothers lost their lives giving birth. So you know what, and that one is kind of personal to me because my wife's cousin who passed in September of last year. She had a decision to make. You know, the doctor told her she had this baby that it was possibly life or death for her, and she chose to have the baby, and she lost her life. So definitely, shouts out to women because I know if men had to have birth, boy, it'd be it
wouldn't be no birth. It'd be an empty earth. She ain't gonna have me knocked up this winter. Just imagine you just hanging out too much, and your girl's talking about some. I'm gonna go ahead and get him pregnant because he ain't going to no bar this weekend. Next weekend.
Yeah, but definitely
you can't drink. You can't hang out.
But those who well, we're gonna get into our topic for the day. Our topic for the day is why should you marry? Attraction, sex, companionship, security. This is kind of self-explanatory, and I thought about this a lot. You know what I did? I went and I asked my wife when I came up, because I actually was holding this title for the longest. I did this way before my grandmother had passed, and then I never got to do the show because of setting up my grandmother's funeral, and I asked my wife. I said, "Why did you marry me?" I said, "What was it?" And being the Muhammad Ali I am, I forgot what she said, but she was kind of stalling at first. She was like, I said, "You don't know why you love me? Why you married me? You know, what is it? I know you got something to say. You over there smirking and smiling." So I asked, and she said, "Well, you make me feel secure. I love you. And all.
You make me feel good.
So it was.
You let me cuddle you from the back.
Man, you do that smooth and stuff. But like I said, I think in everything, I think people do get married for different reasons, and some of the reasons are not really listed up, might not even be listed up in the title that I have right here. And I think, I remember asking a young lady before, why did you get married? If you don't really like your husband, you know what I'm saying? Do you think that's all possible, that you should marry somebody that you really don't like, you really not attracted to?
Are you really asking me this?
Yeah.
Because that's why I didn't get married. I was like, I ain't about to lie in front of God like this.
I mean, that's the real thing. Could you really not being in love with somebody you marry? I think can love grow? Can love grow in your relationship? Like, even if you started off not really liking the person, can you develop love in your relationship later on? Has that ever happened to you?
Never.
But anybody that wants to comment on this topic, that number is 646-564-9728. Press 1 if you want to comment. Matter of fact, me and Queen behind the scene. Queen, why do you love me? I'm not see, she said she's not in the mood to discuss that. She don't feel like talking. You see that? All of that. That's just signs of the non-love. The
non-love?
Yeah, the non-love. I made up a term, but she don't love me, man. But what do you think, man? You think that you can get in a relationship and not be attracted to a person? Like, and just, you know, get married to that person and you not really attracted to them in some kind of way?
I don't know. I'm not married now, what did I tell you? Shit.
Okay, but let's just say you
I wouldn't put myself in this situation to be with somebody I'm not attracted to. How about that?
So what would be the qualifications of for a satellite to get married? What would it take for you to?
I just don't know. I don't know.
So you really don't picture.
I don't even think about it.
You really don't picture yourself getting married?
I don't even think about it.
What is you talking about, dude?
I don't even think about being married.
So what? You gonna ninja sword yourself for the rest of your life?
You worried about another man ninja swording himself? I don't care what a man do with his own personal ding dong.
I'm just saying, you gonna ninja sword.
What kind of guy is you, man?
Because really,
you a Charlemagne, man. I just don't know sometimes.
You know what? Let me bring something up then. If you want to really go there, if you really want to go there, some of the things that you have said to me on the show,
like I got photos of you walking in and out of Benjo's. Okay. Now, if you want me to put that on the screen, I will.
Okay, you done did it now. I got you. Keep on top. Let me bring this up.
Look, back on something. I don't want to waste time.
Oh, okay. Don't play with me.
Look, man. Look. I think for a lot of people, they get women and guys, they get told this, but women look for that perfect guy that don't even exist. When you're looking for somebody to marry, look for somebody that you love her, but she's not perfect, and you're not perfect. Mm-hmm. Something's going to be wrong with everybody. If you're looking for that perfect person, you're not going to find that person. Especially you're not even rich. Right. You looking for that perfect person.
Right.
I heard a girl say, for me to be with a guy, he got to be at least 6'2" and handsome. And I ran into her at Floods downtown Detroit with a little short fat dude. And I said, man.
And that's the crazy thing. I think in our you know, in our past, sometimes we say crazy things, and then, you know, life kind of forces you to retract a lot of silly stuff that you said in the past.
It's called growing up. Mm-hmm. Some of us actually grow up. You know, I said a lot of real stupid stuff when I was younger.
Oh yeah.
And I look back and say, damn, did I say some crazy stuff like that? I said the woman got to look like this. She's got to be educated like that. And I went from having a long list to saying, as long as she's nice and treat me good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't even give a damn how she look.
Right.
A good person, a loyal person, a trustworthy person. Those are things that's hard to find these days. Like you'll go find somebody, and they'll still be dealing with somebody from their past.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you might end up taking an extra trip to the clinic to get some antibiotics.
You ain't never lied though. Never lied. I really.
I'm saying people are not realistic about what they want and what they're gonna get. Mm-hmm. See, I know how to be for real with myself. Like, come on, man, that girl, you know, you out her league. You got to know when you out her league. Like she's too fine. That's almost like Boomerang. Like that look like one of Marcus girls.
You know what though? you don't think, let's say, there could be love on the horizon for, let's say, a subpar type guy or a subpar type woman with a beautiful type.
Yeah, of course, man. Because some people they'll look deep into another person's heart. They don't care how they look. If you take your time to get to know a person, and you see a good spirited person, you don't care how they look. Because that's one thing about having a good spirit. It shines through all the ugliness that the other person might have.
Yeah. You know what? But what about the people that say that God didn't create ugly?
What about it?
I mean, what? Because
you heard what I just said, right?
Because your definition.
But you heard what I said, right? I said if a person's spirit is good,
yeah,
you don't care how they look.
But I'm just saying, even with that, you know, you may look at somebody like physically and be like, ugh, but it's somebody out there that's looking at that woman like, you know,
So go get what you really want. That's the best advice I can give you. Go get that woman or that man that's appealing to you. You got to feel like that's what you deserve. A nice looking person. A nice looking person is going to be attracted to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because even ugly women cheat.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever got cheated on by an ugly woman before?
I never been with an ugly woman. Hey, I'm like Dan the Bear. I'm like Dan the Bear. But you know what? I'm
talking about even when you was your first girl. When you was little, you didn't have an ugly girlfriend.
And you know why I say that? You know why I say that? Because
what?
if I chose to get with the person at the time, that means that woman was so beautiful to me. You know, that's why beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Hey, like you said, you know, everybody is not cute to everybody. Somebody might be like, you know, even the women that be falling out for Idris Elba or something. They be, you know, it might be a woman out there that might not think he cute. You know, so it's.
Do you think he's cute?
I think you think he's cute, but, you know. But you love that type of element. I see that. Menjo got to hurry up and open for you. But I definitely
But Menjo's live inside of you, so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, I done had enough now. But you know, anyway, like I said, for somebody that be at home by themselves, Ninja Sword and Menjo, and so I don't know how you could come up with the conclusions you come up with. But then again, I know you.
But what did I say that was so bad? Come on now.
But you know what? But when you say ugly, that's the thing.
Look.
But
when I say ugly, I'm just saying I'm telling people to look past that so-called ugly. Now come on now. Now you can't say you never looked at a woman and said to yourself, "She's ugly." You never did that before.
Yeah.
Now tell me your son ain't never brought a woman around you and you say, "Ugh, he ain't got no taste."
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I just don't like using the word ugly. Now, have I
unattractive? That's better.
The person that's not attractive to me. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna say ugly, because all God's creatures are beautiful in their way.
Yeah, look, man. Like I might think somebody's ugly, and somebody else might think she's beautiful.
Right.
I'm talking about my point of view might not be the same as somebody else's.
Let's say this. Let me put it like this. So we got the list of attraction, sex, companionship, security. So, is there any one of these that you can leave out and be comfortable with?
No.
With marrying a person, or those have to be the elements that
look. This is what I look for: a loyal woman, a sweet woman, a woman that was raised right. Mm-hmm. When I say raised right, similar to how I was raised. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't get along with hood rats or women I don't trust.
Yes.
Period. Like, it's okay to have a bad argument with somebody, and y'all be back. Y'all still together though. Mm-hmm. I didn't always think like that. Like, that's it. That's how I thought. If we got into it, that's it.
Yeah, I look at it. I think companionship is very important. I think if you don't feel like that person is your friend, or or y'all got some kind of
being compatible.
Yeah,
not companionship.
Yeah, but you know that companionship you looking for, because like I said, I think
I'm talking about having a companionship. It's like you can go and snatch a homeless person off the street. That's your companion. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? Think about this though. When you he said snatch a home, you don't build companionship with everybody. I only got a certain few people that I call my companions. You know what I'm saying? That I like, that's even in just basic friendship. Like, I don't share with everybody that I come in contact with. I don't give them jewels, of my life and stuff like that. You don't share certain things. A companion you can share everything with, but just a regular person off the street, you can't just give companionship or just have it. That's something that
I hope you wouldn't. You married.
Man, what's wrong with you, man? But you know what? Yeah, but like I said, it took a minute for me to like really build with my wife, because we were still learning each other, and to a degree, even though we've been together like 14 something years and married 10, it's still stuff we still figuring out.
Oh, you've been married more than 10 years.
Huh?
This year makes your 11th year of being married.
Yeah, about 11. Yep, coming up is 11. So, but it's definitely, you definitely got to know what you do. Some people, when they talk about, I just married for security, or I just married for sex, and we talk about this.
That's stuff that women say, though. Men don't say crazy stuff like that. When the last time you heard a dude say, "Dog, I'm her for security"?
A man. Man get married too.
Man don't get married.
You don't think it's some man's married?
No, man. He might get married to avoid some $42,000 of child support.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Security. That's what I'm talking about. But I just hear some strange but even some people, even though it's a small percent, some people get married strictly off religious reasons. Because what?
That almost reminds me of someone that I know. Just wanted to get married off of some religious reasons. I didn't love her. I know she didn't love me. But the Bible tells you to do something different. But the Bible didn't tell you to sit with somebody and be miserable.
You know what? A lot of people, because the scriptures say it's better to marry than burn. You know, and so a lot of people.
Yeah, you could be burning too.
Man, I don't know what's wrong with you, man. Not that burn, man. What's wrong with you? But a lot of people I think.
I need some penicillin.
I think a lot of people.
You'll be calling people asking to borrow all their scripts. You got some penicillin, man?
I think the biggest mistake that people make, on top of some of the reasonings that they choose to get married, is that they don't take their time with it. And you know, because you got to really know the person you get ready to get in bed with.
I think you got to get that first marriage out the way. You do better, doing the second marriage.
Nah, man.
You gotta hurry up. That's one of the regrets that I had. Like, I wish I'd have got that first marriage out the way. And then, second marriage, I'd be a better husband.
You could be. Man, come on, man. I know you got to be joking, dude. Because it's. I know a friend of mine. He in his first. Well, I don't know if he remarried, but I know when he was trying to get his divorce, it was hard as hell for him to get a divorce.
I know, but after you get over that divorce hump and get remarried, everything will be better.
How? You got to get over
the second marriage is always better.
You know how many people? It's a good percent of people that get married the first time and so scorned they don't want to do it again.
But you have more people that do it again, and that second marriage is the greatest.
Tell that to Liz Taylor.
Oh, you talking about some rich people? I don't know nothing about rich people that being married. I'm a poor black man.
Hey, well, think about somebody in your family that married over and over and over.
I know. Look. Do you have any exes that's been married multiple times?
I think one of my exes. I think she was married 2 times. Two times, yep. So I don't know what's going on with her now. She might be married, divorced, or what. Not that I care anyway. And are you crazy? I'm not. But I don't know. It's just I'm wondering, because everybody been kind of quiet out there. What do you think? What is your take on marriage? We got what 6 minutes left. 6 minutes, and you still got a little time to call in. That number is 646-564-9728. Press 1 if you want to comment. But I really think that marriage should have a couple of components instead of one, because if the one fails, you don't have nothing else to hang on to. It should be a lot more components than just one, because once that safety net falls, then what else do you have? If you marry for security and the person lose their job, then what? Or they get crippled or anything like that, then what do you have?
That's why your vows say,
for better,
through sickness, for better and for worse.
Yeah.
You lose that job, so many people, it will dip on you when you get to the worst part of the relationship.
And what's
it will dip on you.
You know what's amazing to me? That in this time and era, you see people that been married like 25 to 30 years, and then they'll go around and they'll be like, I'm not in love no more. I'm ready to go. At this point, you know, because I look at my grandparents. My grandparents been married, you know, God rest their souls. They've been married 65 years. 65 years. Now, I couldn't imagine my grandmother as much as my grandfather got on her nerves. I could imagine my grandmother saying to my grandfather, "Look, it's been a good 65 years."
But you got to look at it like this. You have so many women that grew up with no parents. I mean, with no father around.
Yeah, right.
And mama keep telling you every day how much you don't need a man.
Mm-hmm.
So when they finally do get a man, they really don't want him.
Right.
And he's something they can discard or get away from quick. It's nothing. It's nothing to get rid of him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of parents ain't willing to make that self-sacrifice that your grandparents was willing to make.
Right.
See, mama and daddy will go without, so you can have a better life.
Mm-hmm.
People don't sacrifice like that now. I'm talking about the kids will be looking a mess. Hair be jacked up. But mama be looking good like she ready to go to the bar and drop it like it's hot.
Let me ask you in order of the qualifications I got listed up here. Which one would you rank first?
Oh, I can't see it.
Okay, attraction, sex, companionship, security.
When you say companionship, what do you mean?
You know, having a good your mate is your good friend.
We're equally yoked.
Yeah, all of that.
I'll take that.
You'll take that first?
Because beauty fades, right?
Mm-hmm.
Security is not guaranteed because anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
We don't live in a scripted life.
Right.
A reality show life.
Right.
This is the real world.
Right.
So I'll take that companionship for 500, Chuck.
So that's your first one, and then what would you put second? The attraction, sex, or security?
None of that sex count. I'm sorry, I can't even play. You got to be giving me some cakes.
Oh man. So even like say if something happened where she can't give you sex, so
the marriage is over with.
Damn.
You got to go.
What about the companionship?
That's all voided out.
90 seconds.
Man, anyway, we want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Fat Cat Show. Silly satellite, man. You are, but sexy is important. I ain't gonna lie.
Your wife don't give you no more cakes. She got to go. Look, baby, you got to find somewhere else to be.
Dang, find somewhere else to be.
60 seconds.
You got to get the hell away from me.
But what did she say? I'm taking the house, the car, the kids.
You can have it all. I get a new house, a new car.
Dang, no fight. So you just walking away.
Why not? Men leave the house with only the radio and the TV. See, a man don't need nothing.
Like, ain't no other man watching this.
Oh, I don't care who watches. Just get the hell away from me.
Well, you silly, man. But anyway, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. But like I said before, make sure y'all share this post and catch us on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, Deezer, and all the other above, and also
and Blog Talk Radio.
Blog Talk Radio. And
10 seconds.
But Anyway, y'all, we up out of here. Peace.
And happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to everybody.